Hey everybody, so welcome back to my channel. For my next couple projects, I've decided to give my GTO some love because it's feeling neglected. So I got a couple projects planned. So today, what I'm going to be doing is replacing the front bumper completely. There's a couple reasons why I'm going to do that, and I'm going to get to that here in a second. But it's actually really easy to do, surprisingly easy to do. So I'm going to walk you guys through it. Alright, so this is my 2005 GTO, and like I said, today I'm replacing the front bumper on it. There's a couple reasons why I'm doing that. Number one, I've owned this car since I bought it new, way back in 2005, so I've owned it for almost 20 years now. And after almost 20 years of being on the road, there's going to be, dings and bumps and scratches and stuff like that to replace. But the big reason why I want to replace it is because in that time as well, I've unfortunately hit my fair share of parking ties, and as you can see, I'll show it when I get off, when I get the bumper off, why it does this, because some of you might be having this problem too. But you can see, unfortunately, this is broken in such a way where it's kind of sagging. So unfortunately, there's a couple ways that kind of try to fix that without just completely replacing the bumper. One of which I currently tried a long time ago, and you can see how that's kind of the best I got with it. But that's the main reason why I'm replacing it, is because of that. So it's actually easy to do. There's 1, 2 screws there you have to remove. 1, 2, 3 screws there you have to remove. And then 1 and 2 screws there you have to remove. And then basically this just kind of pops off from the little plastic mounting piece that's under there. So it's real super easy to do. We'll walk you through it step by step. So as you can see, there's not a whole lot of room to get a tool in there, especially if you have bigger tires like I do. The stock ones, you'd probably get away with it, but even with my little L-shaped ratchet here, don't quite have the room for it, so I'm gonna have to turn the wheel to get to it. Alright, so once you get those 7 screws off, the 3 up top there, and then the 2 on either side here, basically what you need to do is pull the bumper away, just like that, from this plastic piece here that holds it in place, and it just pops out. Now, this is, I don't know if you can see, let me try to shine a light maybe. It's kind of hard to see. Alright, so yeah, there you go. That is how I tried to fix this problem. So number one, you can see what the problem is. See how that tab, the mounting tab there on the bumper, is broken. So it should look like that, but you can see where whatever I hit at some point in time, it broke. Now what I tried to do is fix it with some zip ties there, and I don't know, it kind of worked for a little while, but not super great, because there was only so tight I could get that thing. So anyway, that is one way of sort of fixing this, quote unquote fixing this issue, if you don't want to buy a whole new bumper. But like I said, that's the problem. That's sort of the half-ass way I tried to fix it. So I need to cut that, and then this will come right off. Alright everybody, we are back here continuing along with my 2005 GTO bumper replacement. I had to take a pause for the cause here for a minute to order some parts, and I'll get to why I had to do that here in a second. But so as you can see, I got them side by side. I got my new replacement bumper there, and then my old one there. I didn't do really a step-by-step video on transferring everything over, the fog lights and whatnot, because it's really self-explanatory. It's just taking nuts off and replacing them. It really wasn't that big of a deal. Same thing with the turn signals. Really, I mean, straightforward. One thing I do want to point out though, so if you look at my new bumper versus my old bumper, coming from the factory, Pontiac painted the inside of these sort of flat black. Well, actually, I can't quite tell if... Actually, I originally thought maybe they painted the inside, or if they just masked it off and only painted the outside. I'm trying to tell what part I can kind of chip off, but nevertheless, I don't know if they did that just to allow for a like darker appearance for the grills or whatnot. But anyway, you can see my new one is not that way. I think I'm just going to kind of leave it and kind of see how it goes. If the body color kind of shines through the grills too much that it bothers me, then maybe I'll go ahead and paint them, but for right now I'm not going to do that. One problem I did run into though is in trying to take off both the front emblem and the original grills, the plastic unfortunately is just kind of brittle, and the little mounting tabs snapped off on me, and you can see it here on the grill. There's supposed to be a mounting tab right in the center on the top and bottom, along with these tangs here. So there's little metal clips that keep those tabs on. And unfortunately, it's over almost 20 years these have been on the car. The plastic was brittle and they snapped off on me, so I had to get new ones. Unfortunately, they don't make these new anymore, but I did get some reproduction ones, and I'll do a side-by-side here in just a second. All right, so here's a side-by-side of my original grill pieces versus the reproduction ones that I found on eBay. They're pretty decent. I gotta admit, these reproductions ones, they came with the match pair for like 160 bucks or so, and it did come with the emblem ready to go. Like I said, they look pretty similar to, I mean, they look good, I'm not gonna lie, but what I would say is if you kind of do, I don't know how well this is going to show up, but the reproduction ones that I got are a little darker than the original ones. So I don't know. I'm going to use these. Don't think it's going to make that much of a difference, but I think I might try to find some new old stock ones somewhere if it really, really bothers me. But for right now, it doesn't. Like I said, these look good. They have all the mounting tags that you need, and they do come with the new metal clips. So, you know, not too bad, I guess, for what I paid. Alright, so that's them installed and everything ready to go. Like I said, to tell you the truth, I kind of like the darker grill inserts because it kind of matches the lower grill insert a little bit better. So at least my first impression, I do kind of like a little bit better. But like I said, we'll put that on there and see over time how much it bothers me. So, alright, and back in a second. All right, so that is it. It is all replaced and on there. And as like I said, as you can see, I don't know how much this is coming up in the video, but the replacement grills that I got, the reproduction ones, are black, while the originals are more of a grayish, I don't know, silverish, gunmetalish kind of color. We'll see how much that bothers me over the years to come. But I do like the fact that it kind of matches the lower grill insert a little bit better. So we'll see. We'll see if, I don't know, that starts looking too much like a G6 or something like that to me, so we'll see. But I didn't make a video of putting this back on because it's really just the reverse of taking it off. You, put the screws in, slap it on, all the tabs go back in place. But as you can see, that gap that I had there before is no longer there. And like I gotta tell you, the people over there at Painted OEM Parts, I mean, they matched this pretty good. I mean, obviously there's going to be, it's really hard to tell. You know, I might get in some different light and see how much that sticks out. Obviously, there's going to be a degree of, I don't want to say paint mismatch, but you know what I'm saying. There is going to be, like, the paint isn't going to match perfectly because it's a brand new painted part versus paint that's been on there for 20 years. So there is going to be a little bit, I don't know if you can quite see it. I mean, there is a little bit, but it is not bad at all. So all in all, I think for the money I spent, it was definitely worth it. And like I said, that sag no longer is there. So anyway, not a very hard project to do at all. In concept, taking it off, putting it back on, very easy. Like I said, the only thing that stopped me in my tracks is the fact that the plastic on my old grills and my old badge emblem was brittle and the tang snapped off as I was taking them off. So had that not happened, I would have been able to do this, you know, in an afternoon. So all right, everybody, so if you liked this, go ahead and hit the like button down below. I'll put links in the description on how to get to paintedoemparts.com if you need them. I'm actually going to need them here again soon for my side skirt here. Fortunately, years ago, I hit a little bit of something and scraped it up there, so I'm going to have to replace that part. So I'll need them here again in a little bit, so I'll make a video on that when I do. And I got a new Maverick Man carbon fiber splitter coming in, so I'll do a video on that when it comes in here shortly. And I am going to finally upgrade my stock brakes to some Wilwoods or something good like that, so I'll do a video on that as well. So all right, more GTO content coming up. Everybody have a good Labor Day.